I am the first Ghanaian female philosophy trained student. I think University of Ghana, and this is not, to patronize anyone. It's a good brand in terms of academia.
Your father was an intelligent person.
My father is school. I want you to do school that impact. Learn to understand why you are a good friend of mine, but you need a D, and it is the D you will get. I am an academic, and I'm going to say something that may sound unacademic. I don't think a person's grade tells who he or she can be or is. Philosophy is a tool. I mean, it is a brilliant to check anybody doing. If you're doing MPhil in any course, you're doing philosophy. There is a difference between learners and students. I think that the discipline I work in is often seen as an anti-godly,
What is your take on students who don't attend lectures but they do well in their exam?
So if you did well when you didn't even attend the lecture, then you would have done better if you incorporated a good part of the lectures.
Welcome to our first episode of 30 Minutes with your lecturer. Today we have here with us a distinguished lecturer within the University of Ghana space who is so much liked by students. And this is based on the fact that in 2023, we organized the Best Lecturer Award on Voice of Legon. And this lecturer won. In 2024, we organized the Best Lecturer Award on Voice of Legon. She won again. And in 2025-2026, we organized again and she won. So it has made it necessary for us to approach her, to ask her what she does differently from other lecturers and also how it started for her. So today we are here with Dr. Nancy Myles. Look, you're welcome to Voice of Legon.
Thank you very much, Sam and Clarkson. Thank you, cherished listeners and viewers.
Okay, Doc, so most of us have known you as a lecturer, but beyond academia, you definitely have a personality.
Yeah.
So we want you to tell us about it today. How did it begin for you from your childhood, early childhood education and growing up?
Thank you very much. Let me first of all thank God for such a beautiful setting and an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity. And let me thank my cherished students out there. Hi, everyone. I think that you hear about Dr. Myles, and like you said in your introduction, it's not anything big. It's just students who love their lecturer the way I love them also. I think almost every lecturer would have that kind of posture. But there should be something else that they believe they see, and I thank God they see that. Let me answer your question. So Nancy is an Accra-born girl.
Okay.
I'm a Fanti, and you, hi, a proud one at that. Born to Joseph upon Myles of blessed memory, Ankribu, popularly known, and Hannah Arababaji, my mother. She's also passed on to glory, and I'm sure wherever they are, they look down on us with a lot of smiles here. I have 5 other siblings and only one brother amongst the 5 siblings. We grew up in different parts of Accra, but mostly at Nungwa. So shout out to my Nungwa folks. And I want to give you all these backgrounds for you to realize that it's not anything spectacular, extraordinary. It's just a normal, fine Ghanaian woman who grew up there. My basic school, maybe if I can chip that in, I started school at Sena Joy Preparatory School at Nungwa. Then I moved on to Weja Barras JSS at Teshin. So I have a soldier training kakra inside. That's why sometimes I said that on my students. But I do that with a lot of love, I believe. But very, very strict and disciplined. You can ask them to tell you, okay? That's Weja Barracks. And then from there, I went to the finest SHS in Ghana. The only one, of course.
Is it Wesley Girls?
No, please. I am a fine Cyterian, Okonfansman Girls Secondary. Sisters are there high. 2000 graduates. From there, then to Legon. And then I'm sure you will ask about the rest. So first degree Legon, second degree Legon, and the third degree University of Utrecht, Netherlands. Yeah. And then the rest is history.
Look, you didn't mention that you graduated with the first class.
Yes, I did.
First degree.
Yes. I think I should also inspire my philosophy students. I am the first Ghanaian female philosophy trained student. Let me say it that way. So
Ghanaian female philosophy trained.
yes. So the
University of Ghana.
yes, please. I think there are only two, sorry to interrupt, there are only two philosophy departments in the country,
University
here
of Ghana
and UCC.
UCC.
Yeah.
Okay, so during your first degree, where you were the only female, were there other guys or you were the only one in the class?
I was with a colleague guy.
So you were just two?
Yes, for our masters, yes. But for the fourth year, we're quite a number.
Okay. What of your first degree?
Yes, I had it here as well. Yeah.
And did you have colleagues too when you were doing your first
Oh, yes,
degree?
please. A good number of them, but, you know.
Also, I want to find out, most of the times when we are growing up, we want to be doctors, we want to be accountants. Growing up, did you want to become a philosopher?
No, I didn't even know about that. But I think that the traits were there. I had traits of critical inquiry. I asked pertinent questions, the ones that people wouldn't want to ask, I asked. From church to family to, and I think I had a bit of an objective attitude to matters also. I didn't care too much who it was that was in the middle of a discussion. I'll do it respectfully, but I was very assertive. And I think those skills were there from my training. But I had a desire for defending those who couldn't speak for themselves, advocacy, if you like. So maybe the desire for law, yes, was then still there, except that I have to check myself before I go there. Otherwise, I'll create a lot of
Is it
trouble.
something that we would see happening?
Yes, please. I think I want to.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
We'll be glad to cheer you up when you finally make it.
Yeah, I know that.
Also, from University of Ghana,
Yeah.
you came back again for your master's degree
Yeah.
at the University of Ghana.
Yeah.
What influenced that decision not to go into any other university but come back to University of Ghana?
I think University of Ghana, and this is not, to patronize anyone. It's a good brand in terms of academia. We have a good setting. We have great mentors we can look up to. But for philosophy, I had some very, very, high class quality in terms of the teaching. And then I also saw the opportunity of mentoring others if I were able to go through that process for philosophy, especially. The department is not philosophy and classes, but I can speak confidently of my philosophy section. Yeah, so that brought me back. Kwame Jechi was here, Professor Helen Lau was here, and a good number of others. And they would inspire you on to go high and high and high up there. So that was one of the inspiration, opportunity to develop, but also to enhance the lives of others, problem solving and all. So that inspired me to come back.
Thank you, Doc. So at what point did you decide to become a lecturer?
Okay, so let me tell you the story. Lecturing, as in teaching or wanting to impact, has always been part of my life. I think if you engage anyone who has been with me throughout my growing stages, they can testify about that. But I finished my third year and I got a colleague of mine come to call me that Professor Kwame Jechi of Philosophy Department, he's of blessed memory now. Recently, the public lecture was on him. He had called that he wanted to see. There's a certain lady he has heard of, and she's making all the A's, supposedly, in a course that is predominantly male. As we speak now for the philosophy section, I'm the only male, female, and I've been so for a while.
Only female lecturer?
Yes, please, amongst colleagues, They bully me a bit, but they are always conscious to hold me up as their baby last lady. Okay. And it's not too pleasant to have that all the time, But I think I got the inspiration from this senior fatherly figure of the department then, who asked my colleague to come and look for me. There is a certain lady who's getting all the, go and find her for me. So I was in the department, fetching, of course. No fetching, folks. But I was fetching at Equafo and XP. And then my colleague came, Julie, wherever you are, thank you. She came to call and she said, Professor Jechi, if you to wait, Professor Jechi is looking for me. I said, what did I do? I've not done anything. She said, no, he's interested in finding the lady who's making all this. I said, did you go and tell him that? He said, no. Some way, somehow he had found out. So to cut a long story short, I come to see my prof, and then he asks me, the way you are getting so many A's in courses that are oftentimes considered tough, philosophy of gender, jurisprudence, philosophy of law, we do all in philosophy. You're getting A's in them. Do you really want to do philosophy today? So we spoke. And then he showed me what this discipline could do beyond first degree. And then together with the inspiration I had, but I thought that no, I would take this to the fourth year. So in the fourth year, I did single major philosophy. It wasn't something that was very common then, but I did, and by the grace of God, I made a first class.
That's
Yeah.
great. She made the first class. She was the first lady to study that course at the University of Ghana. So if you are also a lady there and you are studying, you should know that you are able to make it. To let it inspire you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just a quick one. So, if the first lady to become a faculty member trained within the department. Yeah, for the fourth year, we had quite some other ladies. Yeah, that's what I meant.
But
Okay.
currently, what are the statistics of students who are studying philosophy? Are there more ladies, and what do you think has influenced that?
I think that for now, up to the fourth year, we have a good number of ladies now. Shout out to all my fine ladies. You know, the past year when we did the best graduating folks, the ladies came out, very strong. I don't want to mention too many names, but yes, we have a good number of them now. But as to whether they would want to take it beyond the first degree, time will tell. But many have been inspired, and also because the department conscientiously helped us. So we have a Kwame Gyechi award for best graduating female, also for classics as well. There is one like that to inspire people. So I think that we are making the some good progress in that regard. Sorry.
Okay. You studied in Netherlands too.
Yeah.
So how has your studies in Netherlands shaped how you see international studies?
Yeah. I think that if whoever studies in somewhere outside of the country, especially Europe, US, whatever you may go to just Netherlands, but you end up having a taste of Germany, some Belgium, some because of the integrated nature of their curriculum. And I can say that at the tertiary level and postgrad, especially PhD, they inspire us a lot. They have good, not just skills, but resources. They allow for research that gives you peace of mind. You don't have to do the hard thing, looking for fees, what have you. That's one. Then the rich curricula that they have inspires us. So I think that it is a good addition to my training. And when I return back home, what I can bring along, I have. And what I thought we had that was also rich enough, I inspire their academia as well with it.
Okay. Look, aside academia, what other career opportunities are there for people who study philosophy?
Philosophy is a tool. I mean, it is a brilliant to check. Anybody if you're doing MPhil in any course, you're doing philosophy. MPhil is Master of Philosophy in Economics, Master of Philosophy in Banking, Master of Philosophy in Law. So philosophy is a training, is a tool that equips you with certain skills, question asking, problem solving, critical inquiry, etc. So if you do philosophy, not just come and learn content, but you train yourself with the skill of philosophizing, there is no discipline you cannot work in, especially where we intend that you diagnose, analyze, critically ask. And that is so from politics to medicine to investigation to the laws, to business, etc. A good business person is one that can identify an unsolved problem and find an effective way of addressing it. Yeah. So we train you with that human skill of assessment, evaluation, problem solving. Yeah.
Look, tell me about your relationship with your students.
I love my students. When I say that, sometimes people misinterpret that to mean you can ask any student of mine, from critical thinking to philosophy proper to those who are outside. I mean, what we call Gyamfi, when we go outside of Legon campus. I have students at Family Health. I've been there since 2019, I think. Hello, Family Health folks. Recently at Entrance, what have you. There is a certain quality I think that I bring to bear. There is a difference between learners and students. And when I engage students, the ones we call students, I see them as people that are learning from me as I learn from them. So no matter the level of their intellectual know-how, there is something they bring to the discourse. So mutual respect, clarity of focus, and more importantly, valuing everyone regardless. That is how I enter my lectures. That is how I interact with those who want any assistance from me. And that is how I'm committed to helping them achieve what they already are, but need time to bring out. So that's how I relate with my students.
Okay, look, you've been teaching for since 2011, if I am right.
Hey, where did you find that out from? This man has done excavation.
Look, I've been teaching at the University of Ghana since 2011, and you have definitely met different batches of students
Yes.
who have passed through you.
Yeah.
Has there been a particular batch that were very difficult for you?
Difficult, no. Sincerely, no. But if you ask me a batch that made a higher demand on me, then I could say that it was the 2019 into 2020, 2021 period. That was the COVID period where we were transitioning
To the online.
a bit of online and in-person and anxiety and what have you. And you really had to be something beyond just being a lecturer to sustain student attention, give them some kind of hope that this stage will also pass. So give attention to content. So you had to play a lot of roles to the student. You had to be a mother, a friend, a sister, as you even impart knowledge. It was really, really demanding, but God was gracious.
So
We transitioned.
2021.
Yes, please.
But aside that, everything has been smooth for you.
Yes, I think even that one, it was a really, really inspiring period. So someone may call it a challenge that brought another part of us out clearer. So I don't even see it as a challenge that wasn't possible. It was a positive challenge that we're able to take up by the grace of God. Yeah.
I mean, from what Doc has said, that is what philosophy is about: finding out problems and then finding solutions to them.
Yeah.
So, as a philosopher, I know it is definitely going to be quite easy for you to be able to find a way around some of these challenges.
Yeah.
Aside 2020, 2021 COVID period,
Yeah.
what again has been a challenging moment for you as a lecturer?
Yeah, I think that the discipline I work in, the philosophy discipline, a bit of classics as well, is often seen as an anti-godly, because of the way the discipline trains you to become. You question. You don't think that there is any assumption that cannot be queried if there is a reason to query it. So sometimes if you're not careful, you'll be seen as someone who's training people to be anti-institutional, anti-Christian, anti-religious. Let me say that. You don't obey any structural thing, but that is not it. So in your delivery of content, you have to clearly delineate where people are overly becoming formal. They don't want to go by any. Distinguish that from where you genuinely are asking pertinent questions that need attention. For example, you could say that, why is it that this is our fine Ghana? I keep asking that everywhere I get an opportunity. Grass grows even in pavement. Check.
That's true.
Pavement. So how can we be hungry in Ghana? That's a question you can ask anybody that is in charge of managing something or policy direction or whatever. We cannot say we are hungry in a country where the onion grows on the kitchen cabinet. No soil, nothing. Yeah, it will just grow. That means if we give just a little attention to that, perhaps we might not have food issues. So if you ask that question and you don't apply a bit of discernment and tact, you might offend a system. That kind of aspect of the work we do as academia at the tertiary level, but also as philosophers, is what can be a bit problematic. If you have to take your time and help the learners know that I'm not making you radical to go and disobey systems, but I want you to understand that you can ask the questions in a way that leads to solutions.
Doc, please tell us about your family, your nuclear family, and your extended family. If
Sure. Okay, so first, my extended family. It's quite extended, so I'll cut it somewhere. But like I said, my father is Joseph upon Myles. He's passed on to glory. One brilliant man. Father indeed. My mom is Hannah Babaje. She's also passed on to glory. I have 5 siblings plus myself. We make 6. So far, Alex, then myself. I'm the third one. Then Peggy, and then Messi Myles, the footballer, and then Josephine Issy Myles. For my nuclear family, I'm a wife. My husband is by Bafo Gyamfi. That's why I have a long name. God Nancy Myles Bafo Gyamfi. It doesn't enter any passport.
Yeah.
And then I have, by the grace of God, 4 children. That is if you count the twins as separate. I have a twin set. So the firstborn, the secondborn, Michael, Emmanuel, then the twins, Gabriela and Gabriel. They're a handful, yeah.
Look, you mentioned that your father was an intelligent person.
Yes.
Do you think his intelligence somehow...
Oh yes, I'm my father. Even my mother and my father, they both know I am my father. It's not even how I stand, my personality, my place. The Myles folks, hello Myles, everyone Myles, the Cynthia, I know, we love you.
Also,
I'm typically my father. Yeah.
Is intelligence in any way have an effect on
Yes.
your intelligence?
My father is school. Everything school. And just not, he doesn't just do school for knowing book. He wants you to do school that impacts. So he will give anything to make sure that your school stuff is sorted. That's my father. My mother is compassion, care, going an extra mile. It's raining and people's children are crossing, flooded area, and my mother will go, whether she knows them or not. And she'll go and direct traffic. And watch, hey, bench, baby, off and on, it'll be also small. No one has sent her to, but she had that extent of compassion. I think you would see that in how I relate with people. It's my mother. That one is my mother. Yeah.
Around that same question again, what would you say about this particular topic? So, are you likely to not do well in class if your parents are not brilliant?
I think that because of my training, I don't think anything is impossible. Likely is the word, but not certainly. So if you have parents that are interested in grooming, then we don't really care whether they themselves went through it or not. One can build something that he or she is not. I don't have to be a car to build a car. So if the interest is there and attention is on the child, then regardless of whether mommy and daddy had themselves demonstrated that kind of intelligence, you can still be intelligent.
If I get you, yeah. It is more about the grooming they give you,
commitment, yes, attention,
rather than genetics or being passed on.
I don't want to speak against someone's, but I'm a philosopher. I question standards, so I can find someone who apparently doesn't have that kind of parent, but maybe genetics could extend beyond the parent we know of now. So the person arguing for genetics might say it is in the person's antecedents beyond the mother So I can't agree that. But I believe that anything that you commit to, give attention to, can evolve into something better. So we cannot give ourselves an excuse that our family now we don't know book.
Impossible is nothing.
Not at all. By the grace of God.
Okay. Yeah. Doc, would you say grades really measure intelligence?
I am an academic, and I'm going to say something that may sound unacademic. I don't believe that one bit. The thing is, these are the systems and the structures we have, so we'll work with it. But I don't think a person's grade tells who he or she can be or is. Because there are a lot of factors that go into grading. I always tell my students, at least critical thinking students, they are a larger number. I tell you, you get a 0, go forbid, and someone gets 44%. And in the grading system, you are all F students. I mean, think of it. If we're sharing 100 oranges, like I tell them all the time, and one person, I'm sharing with you, and I gave you 44, and I took 56. The logic behind the grading says that you, the one who got 44, you are equal to the one that I gave nothing to. How? You took 44 out of the 100. I took only 56. So the point is, under normal circumstances, you shouldn't be able to think of that person as an F student. But this is a systematized something. It's just a way of categorizing. However, what is more important is what people do. And that's what philosophy is about. I keep saying that when you are trained to question standards, you ask yourself questions. It's called self-examination. Socrates says the unexamined life is not worth living. That's a whole philosophical discussion. The house that doesn't subject itself to scrutiny cannot continue living. So the point therefore is that the grade is not enough. It's a good indicator, but it cannot be the determinant. The determinant of the person's capacities, well-being. Well, I don't want to mention any person, but you can think of some who are not, in the terms of grade, they are not good. But in other, she can look at you and style you. And she's out there, living and imparting lives. So if it is in academia, we will use it, but it doesn't determine someone. I just told you I made a first class. Mm-hmm. How do you measure first class? It's the grades. But when I finish and the first class is in my books and it's on the shelf, However, someone may make, I said, may, don't go and make a third class. I want you to hate first class. Go and hate it. However, let it be first class that comes with impact, that understands and contributes to knowledge and impact life, changes situations for the better. That is what we want.
Don't go and sleep with your first class that you make an impact. That is when you can say that you are truly intelligent.
Yes, please.
So, what's the best book that you have read?
The best book. Best is a value judgment, as the critical thinkers. So it's perspective driven. The Bible.
The Bible.
If you ask me, that's how I'll answer. But if I contextualize, in other words, as for me, whether it is in academia, running a home, living with people, I just had a session with a student that came by, wanted to talk to me. It's a personal thing. It has nothing to do with academia. I listen, and then when I think this one transcends my office, then I direct them to, the counseling folks. But my reference point, whenever I am thinking about something, that is not to sound all churchy. I'm a churchy person fully. So it's the Bible. That means for another person, it might be the Holy Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or some other. But for me, that would be the best text because everything is embodied in it, as I see it.
What of when we come to academia?
Academia, I like philosophy.
Philosophy.
You can tell.
Is there a specific book that is your favorite?
If I mention one, the other author will fight me. But I think that if I would go by what Plato said, or some write about Plato, all philosophy is an anecdote, it's a footnote to Plato. In other words, every philosophizing ultimately will take a cue from Plato. So it means that Plato or Platonic philosophy stands out.
Okay. Which place on campus is your favorite place?
Yeah, see me. I told someone that is my office. That sounds like a boring person, but it's because of what happens in my office. My office embodies a lot of things. Apart from that, if I don't want to sound all academic, then I love central cafeteria. I will explain. It's not the food area, it's the top, the lecture hall at the top there because of some nice memories it gives me. Whenever I see central cafeteria, I see my transitioning from a student. When we came for our orientation, matriculation, yes. We had it on the athletic over then. It was like a crusade. Mm-hmm. After our batch, the university said never again because no traffic movement, not everything was on a standstill. You couldn't locate your visitors. And so when I look at Central CAF, it helps me remember how much I have transitioned, and by the grace of God, now I see students, even you enter the lecture hall, there are seats there, so they will come the time they want. Hey, at my time, if I have a 9:30 lecture, I should be there at 5:30 a.m. with my chair. So we have transitioned.
So chairs at the central cafeteria.
The place got full, and the rest of us were out there. I'm talking about 2002. Yeah, oh. Yeah. But after that, there were a lot of changes. Everybody wanted to go to school. When I say that, you understand. Yeah. So it was crazy. You come and your chair will be in the boot of a car. Some people come and arrange stones and what have you. But there we go. Now we have a brilliant. And let me take a minute to say, shout out to our very fine leadership at the top there. We are not in heaven yet, but a lot has changed. Yeah. So central cafeteria.
Central cafeteria. You see, during their time, there were no chairs over there, but they were still attending lectures.
Of course.
And there is now. Yeah. There are a lot of chairs over there, but students don't want to attend lectures. You should advise yourself and then make a first class, just like doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what career would you have pursued if not philosophy?
Well, I think the closest would be any career that advocates. I believe that the teaching and teaching philosophy is like training people to be able to stand for themselves, ask questions, help to make it better, problem solve. So any other discipline that would have had that kind of posturing is what I would go for. And you can tell that I'm intentionally being vague. It's because certain disciplines are supposed to be like that, supposition, but whether they actually are like that is open to. So from law to marketing, a marketer is selling something to help solve a problem. I would have loved to. And I think I still do
marketing.
It. Yeah.
But we are going to see you do law very soon.
Yes, don't worry. you let the law professors, please, I'll come patiently. Please. Yeah, I have quite a number of our students. The department has quite a number of our students there now. Most of them are senior lawyers and what have you. How are my folks? I tell them, When I come, my friends are there. They will defend us. Yeah.
Doc, tell us about how you are able to balance academia with your personal life.
I think that that's a revealing question. It can be very tough. I don't want to sound like it's all easy, but I have a very understanding family. A husband that understands academia, fine. Children that love it. Once my little girl came to the office and picked all the citations I had and went to do YouTube something and say, how many citations does your mother have? And then she did that. And that is a bit satisfying to us because they get sacrificed a lot at this stage of our lives. But what we do is to place priorities. If it's family time, it's family time. That one, you won't give it away. If it's lecture, it's lecture. If it's academia, it's academia. However, where there is a sacrifice to make, it's family that is sacrificed for this, for a season. Okay. So we balance it that way.
Balance it.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your take on students who don't attend lectures but they do well in their exam?
I don't think that that you said you did well is a good training. You are half baked. It will show. Lectures are not just a place where, at least I can speak for my kind of lectures. It's not a place where you just come to hear and gather information and go and reproduce. No. Lectures allow you to speak and bring out what is there. So you build human skills. You develop articulation, not just go through, pour, pass, and forget. It's just a matter of time. It will show. So if you did well when you didn't even attend the lecture, then you would have done better if you incorporated a good part of the lectures to your very articulate training already. So I'm just saying that go for the interaction, learn, have the whether online or in person, attend the lecture, and then add your capacities to. You cannot do that in philosophy or classics. No lectures. The best will be an average D if you are lucky. Yeah.
But what if I don't attend lectures and I'm able to pass?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So then it means the passing is a peripheral one. It's like someone who has been promoted from class 1 and has been taken to class 6. Wait until you get to GHS 1 and you are asked what's the square root of 625. You may not know it, yeah. So for the human sciences and the humanities courses especially, not the calculative ones, those ones you may learn the skills and what have you and just go. But for the ones that are trying to check your evaluation, your analysis, your assessment of a matter, you need that interactive time as part of the training. Even if you got an A, you may become a minister for something and then you can't articulate a response to a problem. You know how the mathematics and the formulas work around the issue, but you cannot solve it because you haven't trained yourself to do that. We want you to attend the lecture, please.
Now, do you have any last words for
our viewers and our
students who are watching?
First of all, let me thank my thousands of students and to say that if you love me too, I love you, wherever you are. Okay, I love you very much. I don't think that we are perfect. It's a number of years of interaction. So there will be times that you may have not come across too well. But I think I have students who have appreciated the qualities that God has given us and have learned to understand why you are a good friend of mine, but you made a D. And it is the D you will get with a lot of love in my heart, but you get a D. I think you also appreciate it when I tell you you will do fine. And those who, Samuel is nodding, and those who perhaps heard it from somewhere, think that when they hear you do fine, it means you do nothing and go and get a grade. No. It just means if you have put in the effort, you've planted, God will water it and He will bring the increase. So that psychological help and sense of belonging is what I still give to you, that no matter where you are in your stage of life, understand that God will help you and you will do very fine. Just keep the focus and do your part. And we will be in touch again. I wish you well.
VOL Studios.